Hi, I'm Channing McCorriston, the container guy. Today we're coming to visit our past customer, the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency, to tour a modification I performed a couple years ago. This paved the way to our modular strut systems and entirely changed the way we think and modify containers to this day. This is a modification that I likely should not be sharing with you guys, but I did promise to give away all my secrets, so here we go. I hope this doesn't bite me in the butt. Forest fire activity dramatically increased over the last few years as a result of climate change. In 2019, we developed a portable wildfire management warehousing system out of a 40-foot shipping container to assist with fighting forest fires in northern Saskatchewan. After months of playing Tetris in our 3D model utilizing our modular interior systems, we were able to fit more equipment inside a 40-foot shipping container than they had in their existing system of using 53-foot van trailers, which are also 6 inches wider. Although each state and province may fight fires differently and require different quantities of each component, the equipment is relatively standardized, and the modular nature of the shelving and racking systems allow full customization of it to fit each location's needs. After proving the concept in the field for 2 years, the province requires 2 more units. As a part of the public tender, we were required to inspect the existing container in person and hear what Jeff Robinson has to say about it. Heads up, we were successful in winning the tender, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video to follow along as we build 2 more of these units. But for now, let's take a look at the original warehouse with the shelves filled and see what changes, if any, Jeff requires. See what's, holy, she's full.
Is that if I need to adjust something, I can.
Yeah, you can go up and down.
So I need to adapt to something else. And
Right.
Because I can adjust these shelves, it allows me some play.
Right. And I was concerned that they weren't strong enough. These were a bit flimsy, so we bent some special brackets to gusset them and support them, and now they're way stronger. There's a little bit of extra room above the door. I don't know if that's just leave it so it doesn't drop anything on anyone's head. There ain't much extra room in this thing, is there?
No. For us to load that container is relatively quick. And we do it here, it's loaded now, ready to go.
Right.
We can probably have that from empty to ready to go in half a day.
Really?
Yep. We deployed it this year to Buffalo Narrows, and it was the first year of deployment for us.
Yeah.
And we found it was just so easy to move it, even within that area itself, to different faces of the fire.
Right.
There's a couple of advantages to the way that we're doing this now, and some significant ones are that I don't have to get this container safety. I don't have to put tires on it. Mm-hmm. I don't have to plate it. Or register it. The guys are working from ground level. They're not working from this high, off the ground anymore. Yeah. So many positive advantages to the way that we're doing this now.
They transported well.
Everything transported perfectly.
Yeah,
There was nothing.
We didn't bend any bars. We didn't. No.
And you'll see.
I'm curious. Yeah.
There was nothing on the floor when we turned up at Buffalo Narrows. And that's a pretty rough road up there.
Yeah. Well, and I got ideas to improve it, but maybe I don't have to. Who knows? There you go. As I said earlier, we won the tender, so let's show you how we build these things. So the first step in modifying these containers is the foundation. And these cans are going to be set on an Oilfield style container skid. And we actually, in order to save the customer money, we have a couple used skids kicking around our yard. One of them's 47 feet long, this one here, and then the other one is 44. The customer just wants a 3-foot section of bar grading out front. So this one here, this 47 footer, we're going to cut it down 3 feet and we're also going to fix it. So somebody in the prior life of this skid has, put forks or something underneath the end cross pipes, lifted up and bent the skids. So we've welded up some new ones with some new dog ears. We're going to be cutting these out, reinstalling that, reinstalling some new bar grating, giving it a fresh paint job, and then reinstalling the containers on these skids. And so here the final job is just, we gotta weld this thing down to the skid we have some repurposed Oilfield skids that we're using for this, just to keep the cost down a little bit. We've already fully refurbished them and reinstalled some bar grading out the front end. So we've got 3 feet of bar grading. It'll be a nice little landing here for the people as they're using it. They still have the dog ears that'll allow either a chain or their continuous cable sling to winch this thing up on, and winch tractor and trombone trailer with a live roll on the back end. And so we are going to be welding this thing down. Typically we like to do our recession plates with twist locks, because then it's removable. One big thing when you are welding a container to a skid is you got this 1/2 inch gap here underneath, and a lot of times people take little spacers and just block it up all along the edge, just to make sure that it's sitting nice and level and providing even pressure under the container. Another option is we can notch the top flange of this beam and actually drop just the 4 corner castings into the beam. And I think that's the way we're going to go on this one. It works nice. And then all the lengthwise channels and the cross members are sitting nicely on the top flange of these I-beams. So we'll also cover that and let you follow along. We are all finished up. Let's go for a final tour of this thing. So this here is a 40-foot fire suppression warehouse for fighting forest fires up north. We were able to make this whole thing happen with our CSM brackets and strut lined interior systems. So using our modular interior systems, we're able to custom fabricate all different types of shelving and racking for this customer. And so I'll just walk you through and explain what each one is and their intended use for it. So right here we have room for 28 sprinkler kits. Those are typically a plastic gray tote box that fits in here. And then up above we have storage for all their jerry cans. So there's 60 jerry cans going to be stored in here. And those are the larger jerry cans that will be utilized to feed their pumps. And so they have the I think it's an MK3 pump, and there'll be 32 of them all stored along this row here. Below them will be the toolboxes, so there'll be 32 toolboxes. Each firefighter would have a toolbox and a pump when they go out into the bush to fight the fire. And then very nicely, all the suction hoses, there'll be 36 suction hoses, 4 extra in case some break out in the field. And so those all store in here nicely and drape over the edges. So as we continue down, we have the 1.5 inch hoses. There's 600 of them being stored inside here, and that takes up 4 rows of shelving all the way down this side of the can. And here we have the toolbox, so 3 different toolboxes with the custom workbench. This is where the inventory manager inside this can release and bring back in all their inventory that goes out, so all of the equipment, and then work on it. So if anything fails, they have spare parts and tools. Let's keep coming along here. There's electrical. This is all fired on just a single circuit, and so at the back end of the can, an extension cord will plug this thing in, and we can turn the lights on and off, and also to have power by their workbench. And so that our electrician was right at home with his strut channel. He was able to pipe in all of the electrical to the lights that run down the center of this thing. It's super nice and bright in here, and so yeah, it's a very nice work environment and looks really cool once it's all full of all their gear. So continue on, a couple rows of Pulaski racks, so they're axes, and then their shovels, and they also drape over here their backpacks pumps. So they have a pump that just tiny bit of water on their back that they can squirt just tiny little fires just to fully suppress a fire. Up above here, there's smaller jerry cans that are used for their chainsaws. So there's 10 smaller jerry cans, storage for them. And then way at the back here, this is where the chainsaws would be stored. So there's 10 chainsaws as well. Then down low, we have 7 high flow fire extinguishers. And above this, there are their 3/4 inch hoses. There'll be 50 of those, and then 100 2.5 inch discharge hoses. And that pretty much wraps up the tour of this thing. We're super excited to get it delivered. Probably gonna do one last final visit with the customer, grab one of every part, slide it in, make sure that we've left enough clearances for this thing. But because everything's just bolted in with the spring nuts, if for some reason they needed another millimeter here, it's so simple just to loosen this off, slide the shelving up and down, and get it exactly where they want it. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a really cool mod, one of our favorite mods. We've done one prior in 2019, and now they've ordered 2 more. We're excited, hopefully, potentially, these orders keep coming in because we have it dialed right in. Remember, if you liked it, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell for notifications. And as always, check us out at tcg.ca. Hope you learned something.